Hello and welcome to the Plexisoft tutorial. In this tutorial I will be demonstrating basically what's currently built in Plexisoft to give a better idea of all the different features and what type of clients that we'll be targeting. In this example today you'll see this box here. This is empty right now because I just want to show everyone how this works here, because this is kind of a new idea when it comes to you know, any online business software. It's normally a static page with, already a static, options to choose from, things to do. So in this case, this is actually the sandbox dashboard environment. So to give you a demonstration of how different this is from other software, I'm going to show you how you can basically build your own custom dashboards, and you can build as many as you want depending on what you would like each one to do. That's up to you. So let's go ahead and hit create new, and this one I'm going to go ahead and call it a test. And from what you can see here, we have a lot of options in this drop down box. This is mainly the actual what we call plexiboards. Currently right now there's only, a limited amount, but as we expand, we're going to be adding a lot more in this area here to allow the client to view basically every single aspect of their business. So in this case, let's go ahead and just add a few. We're going to go ahead and add a few of these to the page here just so we can see. So over here on this side, we basically have the area where this is going to represent anything that deals with analytics, graphs, calendars, basically anything that's not really a core, feature of Plexisoft itself. So this as well is going to be, a lot bigger, once we get some more different analytics in there, report builders and things like that. We'll be able to add a lot more in here. So this is just an example of one tab, for example, one page that is representing a dashboard that you're creating here yourself. So let me check off a few of these here so we can see. I'm going to hit save. And then you'll see it's going to actually generate all those different plexiboards we told it to generate on the previous page. And down here we have the calendar, and this, as you can see, we can drag and drop, any one of these plexiboards however we want to fit them. Like for example, if it's a larger thing like a calendar, we can make this larger here, and we can basically, instead of having to drag this, let's say we wanted to drag this, all the way up to the screen, we create this new little button here that we can actually do that without having to drag it physically. So you just click that, and you see the little icon change. You click here, and it'll just put it there, and you just drag it over. And once you're done, you can just pin it, and it'll actually remember that position where you pinned it. So basically all these plexiboards we just opened up here, as you can see, for example, general user accounts, account types, different industries, contacts, lead sources. So all these things here are going to be filled in, as the software is being used. But again, they can be placed in a different plexiboard. They don't all have to be in, just this one. So right now, we start with the default one, which was the actual empty one we saw earlier. Here's another test one, and here's the one we're actually. This one here is the one we're actually on. Here's another test one that was created earlier. But let's go ahead and create another one called test 2. And again, let's go ahead and click some of these plexiboards here. This time we do some of these. Save this. Now you'll see it'll generate another excuse me, dashboard here. Again with here's some analytics and the graphs. But again, this page is totally separate from the other one. So if this was for example, my help desk page, I would only have obviously help desk related plexiboards here, and then I could simply jump back, to another page. And let's say this other page is about, memberships or product shopping carts, anything, any other aspect of the software. This other page can pertain only to that. So this gives you a lot of power when you want to create all the different functions of your business and create, each dashboard area unique to that particular function. So that's another new aspect you don't really see in online business software that we want to adapt to the new wave of business software that allows people to not only create their environment but to also edit. For example, any of these Plexiboards, they have their own ability where you can basically move the columns around. You can set the page size, how many accounts you want to actually list. So I could put 30 here, and then this is the actual refresh timer when it's actually everything's working, everything's constantly being updated in the database. So you're letting it know I want it to refresh with new information. This many seconds. So okay, we got a maximum of 20 on this one. Each one's going to have its own different type, but as you can see, all these are movable, and you can also expand them as long as you want, and they're going to go according to how much data is there. So if I were to add data here, let's see, we have a window here. We can quickly add any data to any one of these Plexiboards on the fly. So we just click that button and we have all the information here we can fill out. So if we do another test, right now we've only set this field to the only one to actually fill in. So just to show you all the other different things you can add, just going through these tabs within this window here that you can move around. So you can save that, and then you'll see it here. And so again, you can have as many as you edit want to list on this actual page by clicking the Edit Configure button here. So each Plexiboard is independent of each other and has its own settings. So as you can see here, that allows for a lot of ability on one single page, whereas normally you got to jump around a lot to get that type of overview of all these things in real time. I know I've been discussing a lot about the Plexiboards without even getting into any of the actual features or what Plexisoft is, but this is basically the foundation of what this whole software is built on. Just to give you a quick overview, of what the three main pillars of what we're going to release with on launch are. The first one is the CRM. That's going to handle everything, all the aspects of the sales team side, and then we're going to have the e-commerce side that handles everything from the sales to the shopping cart to anything that deals with the sales end, and then we're going to have the help desk side, which deals everything that deals with help desk, live chat, and anything that deals with support and things like that. Right now you'll notice that this is not categorized properly yet. We haven't been able to categorize it yet because the help desk side isn't totally finished, nor are some of the e-commerce components. So this here will change as we get closer to finishing some of the main core features on the help desk side. We'll go back and restructure these tabs so it'll make more sense what each one which each pertains to, depending on if you're talking about CRM, help desk, or the e-commerce. So these features you see here are basically features that pertain to one of these Plexiboards in some way. So if I were to go to, for example, view list under notes and to-dos, this here is actually represented in a small Plexiboard on the other screen we saw. But here, this lets you drill down more into this particular page and be able to have, more actual options that you would normally see on a static page. So if you were doing something strictly in this area, then you just come to this page and manage it through here. You can just as easily manage it through the Plexi page, but this is more, hands-on on this particular area that we're in right now. The next thing I wanted to show you was the calendar we have here, which you saw as well as a Plexiboard that you can also stick on your, your dashboard. So here's the actual, the real version of that feature. So let's switch this over to month so we can have a better view. And let's say, for example, we want to do a meeting here on the 4th. We hit edit details. Let's type here test meeting. Let's say it's going to be here on the 4th. We can set the time of the meeting. Set that to the 4th. Hit done. And then we can actually set the duration, how long we think that meeting's going to take. So let's set that to the 4th as well. And then here we can actually assign, different values to this meeting. So you also have a different location you can set here and different notes you can put here to specify other things about the meeting, as well as documents you can store here. So let's hit save on this. So this here is actually tied into the CRM side. So when you actually go to the CRM side and you go to opportunities, contacts, and add information there, you'll be able to pull that directly into here since it's already tied to it. So any meeting or event you set in the calendar, or if it's a callback, anything like that, you can actually set it here in this calendar. So it makes it pretty neat way of easily tracking your next event or callback or anything that's going on the sales side. So that was a basic demonstration of mainly focused on how the software is different because of the Plexiboards and how they're being utilized in different ways that you don't normally see in the business software we're used to seeing. In another video, I'm going to go through and get more detailed on all the different features themselves, so we can actually get a good idea of how all the different parts work, whether it's a CRM side or a e-commerce, related part of it. But this initial part was mainly to showcase these Plexiboards because it really gives you the opportunity to create your own custom, business environment how you see fit. And also, this is also going to be reflected on your staff, so you can actually set certain Plexiboards that they're allowed to use themselves. So when they actually hit this button here, for example, right now this is the administrative view, so we see everything. But if, let's say, this was a person, pretend I'm logging in as a sales person, I'm in the sales staff, what you see here will only pertain to the sales department. So all these Plexiboards here will relate to, sales related things. So he as well is able to go in here and choose how he wants to view them and how many different dashboards he wants to split them up into. So it gives the staff as well the opportunity to customize their site as well. So that's a pretty powerful feature when you allow both the owner and the staff to interact with the software in that same way. So I'll just wrap this up for now. We'll get into another video later, and I'll get more into the actual features. So we'll see you then. Bye bye.